Hi, I'm Andrew, the CEO of Tridroid Records, and I'm going to show you how to take a master tape all the way to dubbing. And this will be my process of doing so. First, I use a computer. It doesn't matter what brand it is, it just has to have a good sound card. Even though most of them are built in, you still need a good one. And what I use for that, I use a program called XM Play because it has extra features. But that's beside the point. Now, let's talk about the equipment I use. Now I use this cord, auxiliary to RCA, and then I use a Kenwood KA75 in this setup. I have a different setup that I sometimes use. I will show that later. I use the Kenwood, and then I take it to a JVC KD VR5, which is a nice cassette deck, but it's not the most high quality one, but it does do damn good tapes.
Damn good.
So, the tape we're going to be recording today is our rock, and that doesn't matter what the album is, because you'll see in a moment. So what I do first is I take this horribly spelled out test tape, because I could not write test.
Test tape!
And I test out the sound quality, and I also test out the levels so I don't oversaturate the tape.
Oversaturation!
What I do first is I'd like to wind the tape until the recording part of the tape is just out of the clear part. Whatever the fuck that part is. Okay, doesn't matter.
Whatever the fuck that part is.
Anyways, we're gonna stick that in, and how I like to record.
That's what she said.
I like to turn on Dolby C, which is both of these buttons here pushed in. It might be different on yours, but I like Dolby C. Dolby B is good too, but I use noise reduction because when I take it to the duplicator, it adds extra noise, so it's imperative that you have as little noise on the master tape as possible.
Imperative!
And then since I always use CR02 tapes, I always have that clicked, and on this one, it's just the left button pushed in, and it should say it there if you have a digital display, but not all cassette decks do. Yours might be a little different, but this is how mine is.
That's how his is.
Okay, so then you will want to hit record and play, which is always the button with the circle, or it might say record on it. So you have to hit record and the play button, and now the tape is recording as it's indicated by the red light there and how it's moving forward. And then over here, I just hit enter, and it should play it, and now we're recording. And over here, what you want to have, you don't want to have it this high, and you don't want to have it looking like one channel is really, really crappy. So,
really crappy!
What this means is that your cassette deck, the head on your cassette deck is dirty, and you want to clean it. There are two ways of doing that. You can take a Q-tip and just wipe off the head, or there are cleaning tapes that you can use. And for this one, I'll just use a Q-tip since I know where they are.
Q-tip! Knows where they are.
No, I don't.
Hello. My name is Chris. Recently, I stepped on a nail.
Ouch!
That is a lie.
Not ouch.
Back to your regularly scheduled programming.
I found one.
That's good timing.
You take this Q-tip. It doesn't have to look as crappy as this one, but
Ew.
It's not the point. It's just really fluffy.
It's so fluffy!
And then you wipe off the head. That thing in the middle there, you wipe that down a bit.
Oh, baby.
And then once it's sufficiently wiped down, you're good.
Sufficiently wiped!
Then you put the tape back in and you start recording again.
I wipe my own head.
And you see how the recording volumes are equal now? That's how it should look. And what I normally do, I normally slide it down until it's reading about 4 decibels at max. And that's it for recording. You just wait for the songs to run out, then you flip the tape over, and that's it.
That's
It.
that was my line. Next section. You gotta put title screens there. Ain't nobody doing wash now.
Because I'm plugging my thing in. Okay.
Very professional office space.
So, this is the most professional office space ever? Ever. So, you turn your duplicator on. And what duplicator I have an ACC 2000, which is technically mono, but it does do stereo recording if your master tape is in stereo. So then we grab the master tape. I'm using whatever one I have on hand. This is simple and easy. So
Simple easy.
you want to stick the master tape in with the wound side to the right, and that would indicate that you're doing side A. And you want to stick the,
That was also on the spot indicated original. Like these are for copies. This one says orig, which stands for origami, which in Chinese means folded paper, which is a very original premise for art.
and you want to do the copies the same. You stick them in. Blah, blah, blah. You want to stick everything in like that. But before you stick in the copies, I always like to do a test run to make sure that your volume settings are properly set up. So basically you just want to hit the copy button or the circle button on this one. And you want to watch these meters and make sure that they're not oversaturating and in the red a lot.
Clipping!
They can be marginally in the red every once in a while, that's fine. But they can't be in there constantly, otherwise your tape will sound like crap.
Crap!
Okay.
Justin Bieber!
Okay, so after you got the volume set properly, all you have to do is press this button and wait!
What button was that?
The circle one, copy button.
Just there right here?
Yeah. And then you hope it doesn't sound like a train, because then one of your tapes are bad. But if it doesn't, you are good, and you'll have duplicated tapes.
Duplicated tapes!
Okay.
Oh no! Other setup!
Here's the other equipment I use sometimes. What I use here for the amplifier is a Sansui G2000.
G2000!
And the other cassette deck I use is again a JVC since I like them. And it's basically the same as the other one, but it's just a little bit fancier with 3 heads. And all that means is you can listen to the cassette back while you're recording. So you get a little bit better idea of how it will sound. And it will prevent you from re-recording it if you don't like it. It's all built into the head, if you can see it there. There's one erase head and one record head. No, a playback head and an erase. Okay, there's an erase head, a playback head, and a record head. And the playback head and the record head are separate, so you can record and play back at the same time. That's basically it for my other setup. And that's it.
Anything else you want to show?
Should I show how I hook it up from my computer to my amp?
You don't have to.
Okay, then we won't, because we'll just find a stock photo of it.